So who's the driving force behind the harmonies in your sound? Because I know she's the '90s country girl, so I'm assuming it's her, but it may not be. So what's the reason for the harmonies?
It's kind of flipped. Like once we started, I was like, I'll be the harmony singer. And then actually one of our good friends, the late Dr. Billy Hamilton, when we first started playing together, I was like, y'all are both lead singers. You can't have two lead singers.
Mm-hmm.
One of you's got to have to learn harmony. So, I mean, I think it really started, I mostly started singing the harmonies, and then I started writing more too. And so then the songs that I was writing, I was leading on. So then Jordan was like, all right, I got to add something to this.
Mm-hmm.
And so he started writing harmonies and adding those. And I think over time, we've kind of developed our own harmony sound, you
I
know?
agree.
Well, we try really hard not to write in thirds and fifths because in North Carolina, where bluegrass reigns supreme,
Mm-hmm.
if you're singing in straight thirds, some old motherfuckers can come and be like, you know, it sounds really good is you have third person singing fifths. And so what we do is we write so it doesn't track parallel, so the ear never gets comfortable
I love
and
that.
thinks. But it is frustrating when people want to sing with us because there's no room. There's generally
Yeah,
not
it's
room,
harder for a third person to come
and
in.
that's the way we want it. You're not fucking welcome. And this is our, this is our band, man.
This is my band, by God. You stay over there. Oh my gosh. The couldn't be
Yeah,
happiers over here, right?
yeah. Jody
Only
does most
us are
most.
allowed to be happy over here.
Jody does most of the heavy lifting on the couldn't be happier side of things. I'm a grump most of the time. So.
The old curmudgeon, right?
Yeah.
Man, I tried out for Ebenezer Scrooge this year. I'd never done a play before, and my son went with me. My wife went with me, and it was a cold read. I've never been in a play or a production before, but I was like, "This is Scrooge, by God! I do this every day. This is gonna be so easy, right?" So I go in there and I read for the part, and there was like 8 or 9 of us in the room, all like reading for different parts, and I got a standing ovation. And I didn't get the part, bro. Like, what
Oh.
do you mean?
Oh,
And my
that's
wife
messed
says to
up.
me, you know that was politics. Like, there's no way. You got a standing ovation, and they gave that shit to somebody else. I was
No,
like,
it's a real.
it's Ebenezer
It's
Scrooge. That's who I am every day.
like we were just talking about. The arts community here is small, so we know a lot of people in
Yeah.
local community theater, and we've got friends from 45 minutes down the road. We actually put on a show called Monologues and Melodies where we wrote monologues to our own
That's
songs
amazing.
that we had actors perform,
Yeah.
and we booked a couple of our friends from the mountains
Yeah.
where we play,
Yeah.
and one of them came down and somebody came up to him and said, why don't you ever try out for anything here? And he goes, I do, you never cast me.
That's right.
And
Yeah. Yeah, you cast the local people. We brought some
I told my
out of
wife, I said,
towners.
I would have actually explored this because it's like earlier where I said I no sold the eating of all of that crap. Like, I'm a good actor. I can do that. Like, I've been doing it on stream since 2018, like on Twitch.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
like, I was like, you know what? I go in there and I kill it to the point where I got to stand an ovation, and then they don't even call me back.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to do it again now. I'm so disenfranchised by it. So
Oh, don't give up. You should
yeah,
do it
that's what my
again.
wife says, but we'll
Come
see. We'll see.
on.
I was already kind of apprehensive about it because trying to like remember parts and stuff, like lines
Yeah.
and all. So I
But
was a
didn't
little.
it feel good, that standing O?
It
Didn't
did
Yeah,
that
you're
feel
like,
good?
absolutely.
yeah,
Hey,
I did
I
that.
went for one audition and I got a standing ovation, and they didn't call me back. Now that's pretty dope, in my opinion.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's like getting
Feels
called up to
good.
the majors, getting a hit, and then getting sent back down. I don't ever want to go back. I'm one for one, baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have a perfect record.
That's
You
right.
got to see the show.
Yeah. You know what? I love y'all's dynamic with each other, how you play off each other with kind of the playfulness and stuff. How's that work in songwriting? Is there any contentiousness between y'all? Like, you know what? No, I don't think that's good. Or, you know what? Maybe we should do this instead. Is there any infighting during the writing
I,
process?
all right.
So
It's
much.
bad.
So much. Our biggest fights are over songwriting. And it's partly because we're both so sensitive
Yeah.
about,
Yep.
like, it's so personal that I wrote this thing. How dare you
Mm-hmm.
think it's not perfect, you know? And it has taken us a long time, I think, to get to the point where we can sort of like sit down and co-write without one of us just being like, I'm done. I'm walking out.
I don't know if we can. You sneak off and write in secret,
I
and then
know.
you come out with a new song, and I'm like, what the fuck? You let me.
Well, but also I'm like, I need to figure out what chords to put here and there. You know? So I can't.
We see music completely differently too. Like I love what James McMurtry does with verse. I love the rich detail. I love the verbosity of it. And Jodi is always reminding that music is feeling based and you don't need every word. And so we have disputes over that, and then we're sensitive about it. And I've got insecurities. I hate my voice. I don't like the way I sound vocally. I swear up and down today I'm not a singer, and I'm always couching. You know, I'm just insecure. I cannot shake it. And so I tend to think that every word matters to overcome that insecurity of it maybe not sounding as good as I think it does. And Jodi, I think, has the privilege of getting to stay on a note longer and sound great with it. And so it's a complete disaster. But
well, there's a question for you too, because I'm in the same boat as you. I'm not a huge fan of my own voice, but a lot of people say, "Oh my God, you have a great voice for radio and a great voice for this and blah blah blah," and I get hired because of my voice. So it's there. Like, people obviously like it, but I can't stand it. So how much of that validation has to come from her? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're putting together this song, and she loves your voice. I can tell she loves your voice. So I know she's probably telling you, Jordan, your voice is great. It's great. It's great. How much of that validation is needed for your own kind of imposter syndrome to go forward with the release of a song that you may not feel good about?
I don't know. I just need therapy because it's not.
It works temporarily, you know.
Okay. It does.
Yeah, that's the thing. It is like this temporary thing where, you know, in the moment he can feel okay, but he's still gonna have that insecurity later when he listens to, and he's like, "What? Oh, I hate it." And I'm like, "What? Why? Like, you're not being objective.
Yeah.
You've already come in with this perception that you don't like the way you sound, and so you
just have to get that temporary thing going so you can get through the process.
Yeah.
That way he can hate it later, but it's already made, so it's fine.
Yeah, you actually kind of nailed it. I mean, that's what we do. I mean, we push through, and I'm okay with it, and then it's like, well, it's done, it's baked in. So.
Yeah. It sounds like her role of, like, kind of sprucing up your ego a little bit is kind of important in that temporariness, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, the role of any small man is for his wife to hold him up.
You don't need to put me on a golden pedestal, but by God, I need my own frickin' pedestal, at least on the weekends. I love that, because when you see a couple like y'all that have come from different places musically, and then you come together, and I love what she said about feeling so personal about your own writing, because that's your own life experience, your own perspective. So selling that to a consistent co-writer is going to be difficult, especially when you're in a relationship with that person, because that person's not going to feel your vibe all the time. You know what I mean? So, like, your place of negotiation is an interesting one when it's a consistent co-writer and you're in a relationship with that consistent co-writer as well. So, like, that contentiousness can go beyond the music and kind of fester, I imagine, right?
Well,
yes.
Oh, I was going to say no.
No. I mean, you can, though, because it's like...
I guess it spills over...
I was gonna say it's something you hold on to way more than I do, because what happens is you don't know you're holding on to it, and then you go to co-write the next song,
and you're still on the last one.
You're still mad about the last one. Yes.
Yeah, I'm way more sensitive. I think Jodi's sensitive, but I think I'm way more sensitive.
Well, you should be sensitive about your own feelings anyway, and this is just feelings in song, right? So I mean, it's the same thing. So what's the process like for each of you with songwriting? Is it more melodic for you, or is it lyrical, or like do you guys both bring different things to the table?
We're complete opposites with that. I will be driving down the road, a melody or a phrase or something pop in my head. I will sing it into my iPhone, and then I will later on, like, we'll get together and I'll be like, all right, you got to help me figure out what chords to put with this melody, because the melody almost always comes first for me. And Jordan's the complete opposite. I mean, I don't think I've never seen him just come up with a melody. He's got to have a guitar in his hands.
Yeah.
Same. I can't sing. I cannot write a harmony unless I have a guitar in my hands either. It's where all my music foundation comes from.
Yeah.
Everything is on the 6 strings. So I have a hard time. We've done some stuff where we sing without a guitar, and like just like community events or something, or our friends who are hosting something, they want us to sing, and I have a hard time with that.
Yeah. Just to sing without holding something.
Yeah. Yeah. But I have never thought of a melody without, like, just like she does. I have never thought of a melody.
But when she brings you that tool, like, you're able to pick up that tool and then apply it to the guitar and finish it.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I can. I mean, I can play any melody I hear. It's weird. I just can't do it without.
That's good stuff, man. I love that. So, obviously, the thing that drew me to you guys originally was the activism, was the speaking out, the political content, so to speak, and then you guys kind of combine those two things. And as a folk artist, what I love about folk really is the freedom in the art, right? You guys can say whatever you want because it's folk music. Mm-hmm. And I love what you guys say. I mean, by God, you have an evolution of a plastic bag is one of your songs, right? So the subject matter is so cool. Where does that come from for you guys? Just the kind of the I don't want to say unrelevant, but like the not typical cookie cutter subject matter that's in normal music. You guys just put out whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah, honestly, I think a lot of it would, we each had our own songs that we'd written before we got together.
Right.
And Jordan's were very emo, very into his feelings. And I think once we got together and we were both like really happy, it was like, okay, well, what do we write about now?
Yep.
Like, and it forced us to sort of, because we weren't feeling those feelings that created those previous songs.
Right.
And so it sort of forced us to look outward into other things and into storytelling. And then once you start doing that, you just start finding inspiration everywhere. I mean, the plastic bag song, I was getting my hair done and I saw this plastic bag rolling across the parking lot through the window. And all of a sudden I was just like, oh my God, that plastic bag's going to outlive me and see and do all these things. And like, I had the song written before I even got in the car. Once you start doing that, you kind of see songs everywhere and everything.
Mm-hmm. And I think we have a problem in general, especially artists, with like constantly looking inwardly, and like there's a whole world out there, man. And like, I mean, how do painters do it?
Right.
they look at landscapes and sceneries and you listen to people's stories, and it's about connectivity and community and experience. And so we have this power to tell stories. Why not every single one has got to be about us?
Right. Yeah.
And
a lot of music nowadays is conversational too, and yours is less than that. It's more of a telling a story outside of a conversation with no conversation, right? Like, it's just like a lot of music is conversational now. It's something you hear two people say or whatever, and then you kind of flesh out the story based on the conversation. Your music is not quite so much like that. There is some of that as well, but it's like the plastic bag thing. She just created this story literally out of thin air about that plastic bag.
Have you talked to Slade Cleaves?
I haven't.
Do you know this artist?
I don't.
He's a Texas guy, an Austin guy, originally from Maine. And the way he writes these stories, what matters is the concrete detail. That's how you tell a story. And I've got a BA and an MA in English literature, so I've done a lot of analyzing the formal elements of narrative and storytelling. And it's through that concrete detail.
I love it.
gets you in that immediacy of experience. So
It's visual, right?
yep,
Yeah, you can
100%.
picture it.
Yep. I love that.